Nothing triggers people more than your success. So, hello and welcome to this week's episode of the It's Okay Kid podcast, your weekly dose of clarity and self discovery. So, you being successful unfortunately triggers other people. And I'll give you a story. I was speaking to my friend at the weekend. Now, he doesn't live in this country, he's a professional football manager and he's doing really well where he is. But he's getting a lot of shit. And he's worried. Big game at the weekend. They actually won. But he had a lot of self-doubt. He was second guessing himself. And obviously the negative comments that were coming in weren't helping him. And he was just obviously asking for a bit of advice. Or just floating it out there how he was feeling. But it's about reframing that situation. And I'll tell you why. Everybody always self-doubts themselves. Everybody always second-guesses themselves. The reason being he's aimed at something and he's gone for it, which is bravery. And he's been successful, which not everybody can be. But unfortunately, that triggers emotion in other people. But that's a good thing. It's the fact he's getting noticed. People are aware of who he is and people are aware that he's successful. Unfortunately, in some people, like I say, it triggers emotion. What they hate about you is missing for them. And that's a really strong sentence. What they hate in you is missing for them. Or you've got the balls to do something that they would love to do but don't have the courage to do it. And that's the only difference. Only difference. I was in fucking slow motion there. That's the only difference. They don't have the courage or the tools to aim at something. Or even worse, they're maybe uneducated, and I don't mean that disrespectfully, but they're maybe uneducated in the stuff that you're doing, maybe the stuff that you're putting out there. So because they don't understand it, they just choose to project anger, snide comments. That might be online, it might be in your work, it might be behind your back with friendship groups. They don't understand what you're doing, so how they project themselves is because they don't understand it. They just fucking say you're an asshole, or they just fucking put snidey comments online. But how to reframe that is it's a good thing. It means you're being noticed for doing something. You have to have the belief in yourself, and sometimes you don't. Sometimes that drops, the self-doubt, the second guess, but you keep moving forward. And he won his game at the weekend, so he's top of the league, and these comments are still coming in. We're human. They get through. But it's how you deal with it and how you reframe it. Because think about this, and that's what we were speaking about there, and I spoke about this to Lisa, because I've had shite. I mean, I'm no massive on social media, as you can see by my following, but I do appreciate yous. But I started to get snidey comments, mainly in TikTok, people coming through saying you're an arsehole, or saying they don't understand that, or saying I've just wasted fucking 60 seconds of my life that you'll never get back. That's fine, it's not for everybody. I'm not making it for everybody. I'm only making it for like-minded people. But how I meet that is I like the comment and I meet it with positivity, because 9 times out of 10 it's not about you. It's not about you. Because think about this, if you can think back to any time that you've ever said something, and if you fucking say you haven't done this, you're a liar. But anytime you've maybe done what they're doing, maybe put a snidey comment on somebody's social media, maybe been envious of somebody that's triggered you, and if you're really honest with yourself, it wasn't about them. It was about you. It was about the headspace you were in at the time, and it was about looking at somebody else and going, fuck, I wish I could do that, or they're maybe doing something that I can't do now, or I don't have the skills to do now, or I wish I could do. It was always about you. It's not about them. So when I get or I hear these comments coming through, or I see them, where I grew up, all the shit I've been through, I'm used to it. But it's not about me. I don't take it personally. It's always about them. So I'm always going, are you okay? Are you in the right frame of mind? And that's how you have to meet this thing, with positivity, empathy, and that's how you do it. 9 times out of 10 the people go away once you do that, because you've no fueled their rage. You're no rage baiting them. They want to argue, they want to project anger into the world at that point in time, just for their frame of mind. Or some people are just fucking like that, but it's no rising to that, because 9 times out of 10 it's not about you, and it's reframing it into the fact that you're being noticed for doing something positive for your side, maybe not so much for them. But again, we're not everybody's punch bag, so if these people capable and just tell me fuck off. But in the first instance, it should be met with empathy. It should be met with thanks very much for your comment. I hope you're doing well, and leave it at that. But it's also about reframing the story. People will be triggered by your success. They will be. But it's not about you. You're doing the correct thing. You've pointed, you've aimed at something, and you're going for it. You're getting noticed. Unfortunately, these comments come in. That's life. But any attention is good attention. But that sentence that I said at the start is powerful. What they hate in you is missing in them. And that's what we need to educate on. That's why I do this. I do this to help people, to show people that you can come from a bad place, a dark place, and put yourself forward and still achieve your goals. That's why I do this podcast, try and help as many people as you can. But unfortunately, some people just don't want to be helped, and that's fine. You just need to leave them behind. But it's how you reframe the story. It's the meaning you put to that story, because some people see these comments coming through and they take offence to them, they take them personally, and sometimes it maybe stops somebody in their tracks and they don't actually follow through on what they wanted to do. Now, my mate was never going to do that, but he was just being a wee bit vulnerable and putting it out there that he self-doubted, a lot of self-doubt, doubted himself, second-guessed himself, wondered if he was doing the right thing. But he was, because they won, and they're successful. It's shite, it shouldn't happen, but it does. It's a fact of life. We're on social media now. Unfortunately, these things happen, but it's about how you react that keeps your sanity. So, that's the end of this week's episode. Lee Mackay will be on. We need to get a date locked in. It was supposed to be last Friday, but unfortunately I wasn't well. We'll get a date locked in. We'll get more guests on, and keep it simple. These tips will change your life, I promise you. And as always, have a good week.